This video is about a new Dewalt string trimmer that I just bought, and with the current weather I'm not going to get a chance to test it, but I'm just going to do my first impressions of it here. And basically it's a 20 volt battery 14-inch Dewalt string trimmer. Now my wife has Sjogren's disease and a chemical sensitivity syndrome, and she can no longer stand fumes from any kind of machinery or anything. So the last year or so I've had to take off my clothes in the garage after I weed whack or use a chainsaw or anything, because the fumes that remain actually really bother her. So we talked about it and we decided we were going to get a battery trimmer for at least up around the house, so I could do that. She could still remain outside and stuff. And I saw this new model on Amazon. Actually, I was looking, I saw this and decided I was going to order one and give it a try. This is just a bare trimmer. It's a 14-inch one, like I said, 20 volt brushless motor on it, and it arrived in a couple days. It came, really well packed, and it looks pretty nice. It's kind of like a aluminum pole on this one. That's a folding setup on it. I really don't need the folding, but that's the way it comes. And it came with a handle there that has to be put on, and it also came with a plastic guard to put on it. Now, the guard's not really all that big or anything, but it should do the job, it looks like. So there's really very little to do to assemble this. First you just have to unpack it there, and it did come with a wrench and a couple of screws in there too, so. And they're to mount the guard with. So there you can see what it looks like, a little bit closer look. The battery goes up in the handle. The whole thing folds in the middle. It's got this what looks to be like an impressive cast aluminum hinge point on it, but it's really not that good, I found out, and I'll show you in a little while. It just kind of opens up and locks quick, so I guess you could fit it in a smart car if you really had to, in the folded position. But, most of the time I'll just be using it open, so that feature didn't really matter to me. And it comes with this handle and the wrench to put it on there. That wrench is also for taking the head off too. So the screws are in the handle already, and you just have to remove them. And then it comes apart in two pieces, and the handle itself goes on from the top like that, and it could be positioned in different locations. You can move it up, down, or whatever, but I found that these are really imbalanced with all that motor weight out front, so you really want to keep it. I have to keep it to the front there to have any kind of comfort when using it. I found it's a completely different animal than a gas trimmer, and I'll show you in a little while. So basically you just have to put those 4 screws in, and they give you a nice long wrench, and there it is all together there. And then let's just flip it around, and there's 2 spots for screws on the bottom. Now the head comes with a they put a piece of strapping tape on to hold the string and the head together. So that's got to be kind of cut so you can pull that off. And it does have kind of like a weird string on it. It's a yellow and black. I guess it's a Dewalt type string, but it doesn't really look like it's that impressive for the cut. I may change that out later. And the guard has a little cutter on there for when you let the line out. It's got a bump feed head on it, and it's actually auto load where you just line up a couple lines on it and slide the line through. So the guard goes on real easy with 2 little screws in there, and looks like they've got it locked in place pretty good, so it should be sturdy and last, and take some hits with stones and stuff like that. So the assembly of it really is, basically pretty easy, and it's just some, minor parts here to put on and tighten the screws up. And there you can see it's got a 14-inch path, supposedly, which is large for one of these battery-operated ones. And even with the that cover on, I'll show you, you can still release that latch there, and it still will fold up on itself. It won't fold up fully with the battery in place, but with just the cover on like that, no battery, you can see it folds up and clips into place. So I guess you could hang it on the wall or something if you wanted to. But there's not really a feature that excites me. And the reason I went with the Dewalt was because I had bought this hedge trimmer a couple years ago, and it came with a battery and a charger on clearance in Home Depot for $99. And then last year I found this Dewalt blower with a 5-amp battery and a charger on clearance for $99. So I already had the two of them that I was using, and you know, my wife was real happy to have no fumes from a blower anymore and stuff. So figured I'd just pick this up, and I could use the same batteries in it. And the battery kind of slips in the back there, and they made the spot big enough, I guess, to hold larger batteries or something. They must be gonna come out with a new line of, you know, batteries that are a little bit bigger there, because there's plenty of clearance in there. Kind of weird balance on it. It's got 2 speeds on it, a high and a low speed, and then there's this little safety over there on the left side of the handle that you have to pull in to start it. And once I started, I immediately noticed that there's kind of like a vibration in it. That's one of those things that will numb your fingers and stuff. It's kind of like got a really weird vibration in it that I don't like at all. My gas trimmer runs really much smoother than this. So I just played with it for a second there, and it really doesn't feel right. But anyhow, when you go to use it, it's definitely not balanced like a gas trimmer. You have to push that back down and hold it up. It's not like you can just grab the handle and use it with one hand. It's even with the battery in it, it's quite unbalanced, and the vibration on this unit is really pretty bad. So you know, as it stands now, I'm really not going to recommend this. The whole thing vibrates. And I did contact Dewalt to find out what they, you know, had to say about it. And, you know, to show you, I don't know if you can really see, I just set a wrench on there to see it's like a tuning fork going across it. Just walk right off it. But I contacted Dewalt and told them about it. And I told them, actually I removed the head here just to see how smooth it ran without the head. And it just runs glass smooth without, once you take the head off and start it up. There's no vibration whatsoever, so it seems to all be in the head. And I contacted Dewalt, and they said, well, you have to bring it to one of our service centers and have a technician see if they feel that it's too much vibration. So I told them, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll probably just send it back. So anyhow, I just took the head apart to look inside there and, you know, make sure there was nothing extra in there, and the line was all wrapped on nice and even, and, you know, it looks like it is, so it must be, you know, just something in the design of this head that's causing some pretty good vibrations. And if you do get, I don't know if I got a bad one or what, but if you do get a bad one with vibration, you have to take it to a service center before they'll even talk to you about it. So that didn't make me very happy, and it probably would be one of my last Dewalt tools now. But and there you can see also there's a lot of shake in that. I don't know if that's helping, you know, make the vibration worse or not, but it's got a lot of shake in that joint there, and it almost seems as if they should have made that latch adjustable, because everything seems to fit pretty nice and stuff, but there's quite a bit of movement in there. I really like the concept of this. You can see it there. It's real flexible right there, and it just doesn't seem quite right. The screws are a little bit loose. I was able to tighten them up some, and it did help a little bit with the flexing in it stuff, but didn't help with the vibration, and it would have been nice if they had made the latch adjustable, so you could have maybe pulled it down a little bit tighter or something like that. Yeah, you see right there, there's no adjustment or anything, so I'll probably wind up having to put something in between there if I decide to keep it. all depends on if I can get a hold of another head and try and see if it's any better. But anyhow, the other two DeWalt tools there have been really excellent, run great, run smooth and everything else, and this one's a real bummer so far out of the box. And I bought it from Amazon from one of those second-party sellers, so I get stuck shipping it back. So I really wish I had gone to Home Depot and picked one up, but you know, I can't right now. We're trying to stay in the house as much as we can. So I just thought I'd share this with you, and hopefully everybody's staying safe and healthy now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.